Hello guys, welcome back to another lovely trading video. In this one we're going to be doing some in-depth stock analysis on Dash, which is DoorDash. So firstly, why is it up near enough 12% on the day? And that's due to its potential acquisition of Wolt. I think we can check over here. Surges on hopes at Wolt's acquisition. So that's really the main news catalyst on the move for Dash. But now we can go through the technical areas of support and resistance where we can see it going into and price targets that we will give it. So as always, we start off on the daily chart. We see is there any gaps that need to be filled, because more likely than not gaps will get filled at some point, so we can use those for a price target either to the upside or downside depending on how you're trading it. So looking at here, I mean, we got the occasional gap. This one stands out to us, 115. Obviously it's far away target, so probably not something that we will actually be able to trade off. Had some gaps here, but they've since been filled. Obviously that's been filled. So really the only one we have right now is 191 and 70 cents. So for right now, that's really the only close gap that we'll be looking at to get filled. So now we'll go over to the flexible chart where we have the standard deviations, and then we can plot in the support and resistance to see kind of where our other levels of support and resistance will be, and levels we could potentially trade off of or have as price targets. So it's still within kind of the first deviations, so there's still quite a lot of targets to both the up and down side depending on how you're trading it, which I guess is always a good thing. So those are going to be our key targets. So what we will do now is kind of go over to the daily chart just so it's a lot clearer to see. And as actually we'll go back here quickly. As we can see, it's come into the first deviation on the daily. So when it came into that 225 originally, it would have been a good low risk short area. Has since pulled back from that, which you would expect. So if we were looking to get short, we would be waiting more for that next move. So that could be to 245 will be that next move, because that's the first deviation on the 4 hour. So if we're looking to get short, we would most likely wait for it to come back, push higher and push to that yearly high, well, not even yearly high, but at least 180-day high of 245. That would be kind of our next short target if we were looking to get short, and that would be kind of a key price target for the time being. So for now, we have a target of the 245 and the 252 as a short area to get short. And if you're looking to get long, we'd probably be waiting more of a target of around 191 to 185 if you're more looking for long. Now what we will see, if we go on to a 5-day 5-minute, we can see how it actually reacted to this 225 deviation level. And what you'll see is after hours, that's when it made the majority of the move, came in. It came up. I mean, it was at its low risk buy area yesterday. Then you kind of got what you expected, a big move up. Since pulled back to our deviation, and then what we always look for, when we say we look for, is the retest. If it retest fails, then you know it's most likely going to continue downwards. So if you're looking more for an intraday trade or an entry for your swing, again, you can use the same kind of entry and you would look to get short in this area. That's exactly what we saw today, retested this level and failed. So what this does tell us as well is that we may not actually push up and kind of test this 245. Doesn't mean it's impossible, but it's a lot less likely. So basically what we would be saying more is keeping an eye on to this 185 and this 245, because those are really, whatever one it goes to first is the way we will trade it. If Dash decides to continue higher instead, we will look to get short at 245. We've already hit this 225 level, so we're going to ignore that for now. If you were looking at it intraday, it could have provided some trades, but if you haven't touched it by now, it's a bit too late to really be using that level. This 191 is a gap fill. We use that as more of a price target instead of an actual trading level. So if it goes to 245 that we then get short, that 191 will be a target that we will look for. But if it instead continues down and not hitting that 245, we then have a buy zone at 185 kind of slash 186 will be that low risk buy entry to get long. we may lock in some profits at the gap fill if it's depending on how it gets to that level, and then we will kind of have a target of 225 on the high side, and we could always look to lock in some money at statistical mean, so that would be the 197 and also 215. So that's the overall kind of breakdown on Dash. Hope you enjoyed the video, hope you see you in the next one, and that's it. Peace.